Hey bears, I am the Gaming-Grizzly and welcome back to Identity 5. I am finally back from my vacation and today I want to talk about the most exciting news that has happened in the last few days. The new upcoming hunter, Joseph the Photographer. I got my hands on some gameplay footage of this hunter. I will leave a link in the description below if you want to see the original video. But before we jump into the video, I would love if you could help me out with a fat like. I really appreciate your support. Also, leave me a comment what you think about the new hunter. And of course, share this video with all of your friends, and if you are new to my channel and you want to stay up to date with Identity 5, make sure to subscribe to the Gaming-Grizzly. Alright, so the Photographer is probably one of the most complex hunters of Identity 5 so far. First, I will talk about his skills and show you his abilities in the gameplay. His first skill is called Instant Shadow. Its description reads: Joseph can use his advanced camera to take a picture of the moment. The camera will create a portal to an alternative world which reflects the moment. Joseph can use the portal to travel to the alternative world. This is probably one of the most interesting skills ever, and it looks absolutely insane. In this alternative world everything is grey and there are copies of all survivors. And as soon as Joseph enters the alternative world, he can see 8 health bars. So we have 4 health bars of normal survivors and 4 health bars of copies of the survivors in this alternative world. I will call them fake survivors in this video. Alright, this is already a little bit confusing, right? But we will get right into it. Everything that happens in the alternative world has no effect to the real world. This means if a survivor follows Joseph through this portal, yes, you heard right, survivors can also go to the alternative world. And the survivor puts down a pallet, or if Joseph destroys the pallet, this pallet will still be intact in the real world. The only thing that will have an effect is the damage that the photographer causes on the fake survivors. Okay, so how does this exactly work? It's pretty interesting. If the hunter puts down a survivor on the rocket chair and the portal closes, which means that the alternative world will be deleted, the real survivor will be knocked out. But as I mentioned, the survivor can also enter the alternative world through the portal and they can actually rescue the fake survivors from the rocket chairs. If the survivor was knocked out in the alternative world and the portal closes, the real survivor will take 1 damage. So the fake survivor status has an effect on the real survivors. Another little detail is that in the alternative world, survivors can't finish cipher machines. Well, then we have a trait, Face in the World. And basically this trait explains everything again. I will go through the description real quick. Use the camera to shoot a moment to copy the survivors and scenes at this moment and create a face in the world. After the world collapses, the camera needs to cool down for a while before it can be shot again. And the state of the world in the face will be half folded to the world. Joseph can enter the world at any time and find the survivors who are in the past to put them on a rocket chair. In the midst of the world time, the survivors cannot escape from the manor or be returned to the manor by the rocket chair. Survivors living in the world can enter the world through the image of the camera. The survivors can decipher the progress of the cipher machine, but they can't complete the deciphering in the middle of the world. People will not make a group for survivors entering the world. So this was basically everything that I just explained. But we now also know that the alternative world can stay forever, and that the photographer has to wait a little bit to create the next alternative world after the old one collapsed. The next skill of Joseph the Photographer is called Space and Time. The skill's description reads: when Joseph moves, he will record his traces of the last 15 seconds. Long press the skill button and return to the past position according to the button length. This is a pretty interesting skill as well. As soon as the skill is unlocked, you can see the steps that Joseph walked in the last 15 seconds, and you can teleport back to any position of those 15 seconds. The skill reminds me a lot of the perfumer skill. It will be useful to fool the survivors to think that you are, for example, go to a cipher machine and leave, because you didn't see them, and then you can just teleport back to the cipher and get them. And the last trait is also really interesting, especially for the 8 vs 2 mode. It's called time and space overlap. With the power of the space, Joseph causes 1.5 times damage. Okay, so there are a few things we have to talk about right here. The first and most obvious one is that this makes him the probably most powerful hunter in the 8 vs 2 mode, because survivors have 3 health points in this mode. All other survivors need 3 hits to knock down a survivor, but Joseph would only need 2 hits to do that. But what happens if we are playing a normal match? Well, you still need 2 hits to knock down a survivor, but the survivor needs to heal himself twice, because if the hunter heals up only once, he will still have 0.5 damage. So Joseph would only need to hit that survivor another time with his 1.5 damage to knock down the survivor again. I hope I explained it good enough and you were able to understand the huge advantage that this trait gives the photographer. This is just amazing. In my opinion, this hunter actually is freaking powerful. And another little detail that I want to mention is that if the hunter enters the alternative world through the portal, he will disappear from the real world. So he will not be able to be in 2 places at the same time. I mean, it's quite logic, but hey, I wanted to say it. So that was my detailed skill review of the upcoming hunter Joseph, the photographer. I'm really curious what you think about this hunter. Please leave me a comment in the comment section below and also support the channel by leaving a fat like. And of course share this video with all of your friends, and if you are new to my channel and you want to stay up to date with Identity 5, make sure to subscribe to the Gaming-Grizzly. But wait, the game isn't over yet and I just want to show you the complete gameplay right here. So let's talk a little bit about what we can see. And well, what we can actually see right now is a little bit confusing, because we can see there was a camera at the coordinator's position. He can just switch between the 2 worlds, at least it looks so. And I mean, this character probably causes a lot of trouble. Look at this, there's the cowboy and everything turned again and he goes through the portal. It is really interesting, and I think this will be a really interesting hunter to play and also to play against. I mean, if you're a survivor and you try to escape this hunter right here, it could be a little bit difficult. At least that's what I can tell. Look at this, all the survivors are running around. You can see 2 of them are down. In the alternative world, they are not down. It's so freaking confusing, to be honest. So I really can't wait to get my hands on this survivor. No, it's not a survivor. I mean, he looks a lot like a survivor, but what I wanted to say is I can't wait to get my hands on this hunter right here and just to see how he plays myself, because it is, yeah, freaking confusing what we can see right here. But hey, there's 1 survivor sent back to the moon right there, the cowboy getting back to the moon, everybody. And now we can see that there's only the coordinator, and she's already sitting on the chair and probably going to the moon as well quite soon. And the last survivor should be an easy hunt, so seems like the hunter is winning this match right here. He just puts a photo into, what is he doing? What is this even? Snapshot of the moment. Okay, so he just took a snapshot and now he is in the alternative world. I don't really know what is going on. And if you have any comments about this hunter and you want to give me some tips about this hunter, because I just read all the little translations of the abilities of the skills, but I don't really understand why he can just switch between the 2 worlds without even using the camera. And just look, there are cameras all over the map. So well, I mean, this gameplay was pretty interesting and I think I will just end it all over again. So if you liked it, leave me a fat like, and of course subscribe to the Gaming-Grizzly if you want to stay up to date. Share this video with all of your friends and leave me comments. I hope you all enjoyed this video and I hope you all have a great day. See you all in the next video. Bye bye.